Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 4 of our F225 Leo Fornaroli career mode. Yes, we return this weekend here to Europe and of course the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix out at Imola. Now, I apologise, obviously there was no videos from this series last weekend. I got very busy playing NASCAR 25, but the series is going to be returning now and of course obviously with so many races going on towards the end of the season, hopefully you guys don't mind a little bit of F2 crammed in there as well. Of course, we're currently P4 in the championship standings, just 9 points back from our championship leader that I believe is still Arvid Lindblad, if I remember correctly. It has been a little while since the last episode. But yeah, of course, if you're new around here and you aren't already, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We are getting closer and closer to 150,000 subs. So yeah, if you haven't already, please do consider. And obviously, if you want early access to all of these videos as well in the future, you can click the join button down below. For just £1 a month, you get access to obviously tomorrow's feature race as well, and a few other little exclusive perks. But yeah, it's been a little while, obviously, since I drove the F2 car in this game, apart from doing all the setups over on Mat212 Racing. If you need F2 setups, go over there as well. So yeah, let's just head out into qualifying. Hopefully, as always, we're aiming to start in the top 10. Well, here we are then, ready for the first of 2 home Grand Prix this season for Leo Fornaroli. I must admit, I'm looking forward to this. Imola, though, is a really tricky circuit to try and get nailed with these F2 cars, because obviously you want as little downforce as possible down this long front straight. But then around most of the rest of the lap, obviously you need that extra rotation because the corners do come thick and fast at you. Often has been the case on previous F1 games that like one F2 driver can be a little bit OP. Don't really feel like we've got that though inside F1 25, so hopefully, or it's going to mean obviously that consistency over the course of the year is going to be really what pays dividends. As there we go, our championship leader, Arvid Lindblad, currently at the front of the order, but yeah, getting obviously those top 10s week in, week out is going to be super useful there, as hanging the car right over the exit curb through the top of the circuit. Minerali, one of the toughest corners to try and get right there. You've got to be so gentle on the throttle on the exit, and we are just inside the top 10 at the moment. Tip the car in or through the chicane. Not doing a particularly good job to get the run off of the corner there, and we are still down in that P10. We're going to drop outside the top 10 temporarily as we plunge down the hill in towards the final couple of corners. Really attack that apex curve through the first part. Will we be able to get the car nice and tidy through the second? Power down towards the line. We really took a lot out of that final corner. It will be P9 on the grid. Oh, we just lost out. Right on the run to the flag. Well, there we go then. I think had we got a slightly better run out of that final corner, we could have gained 3 more places here. Ready on the grid. 1/1000th of a second in it between myself and Luke Browning. But yeah, it is Arvid Lindblad there. Pole position by just shy of 1/10 of a second over Amory Cordeal. Ollie Goethe in third, just ahead of Crawford, and then our teammate Roman Stanek. Sorry, it's Martins, of course, that's leading the championship. I forgot ART, obviously a 1-2 last weekend. That means, yeah, it's Martins and Rotoma Miata at the top of the championship. And you can see, yeah, ART a long way ahead. I don't know why in Grand Prix mode you can't just see you know, your full championship standings. It's a little bit peculiar. But yeah, disaster then for ART. Victor Martins down in 11th spot, 200ths behind Rafael Villagomez, and then Rotoma Miata all the way down in P15. So there is a huge opportunity for Fornaroli and Arvid Lindblad here to gain huge points in the championship.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint race then. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? It's 3.1 miles around Imola and 19 turns to master, 9 right-handers and 10 left. And note as well that Imola is one of the few tracks that's driven anti-clockwise. Keep an eye on the exit from turn 18. A good exit there leading into the circuit's only DRS zone will probably be the setup for some of today's best overtaking opportunities. In the commentary box, I'm Alex Shakes. Alex Brundle is alongside me, And now, we've had sprints for years in Formula 2, but with a shorter race, how does that change your driving style?
We have seen stops before at the end of the sprint race, jumping onto that softer compound of tyre and having at it for the final few laps of the race. Indeed, we've seen sprint races won like that. So anything could happen out there. Don't send the pit crew home just yet.
Well, here we are then, ready down on the grid for today's sprint race, and there's rain predicted on the horizon. Apparently both races this weekend are going to be changeable conditions, so make sure you're back here tomorrow, because we could be in for some absolute cinema as well. If that rain does arrive though, it is meant to dissipate again, so yeah, I've got no idea how we're going to handle things today. We just need to try and get a good start, lead into turn 1, and hopefully just control the field from there. Sounds simple on paper, doesn't it? But anything but in FIA Formula 2. Rafa Villagomez on the pole, both Van Amer Sports in your top 5. It's 5 red lights. Oh, and it is lights out. Oh, and Villagomez has had a rocket ship launch. I don't even think I've done that badly. But Villagomez is gone. He is checked out on the run in towards turn 1 there. Alex Dunn's had a pretty good start as well, as Roman Stanek trying to find a way around the other VAR car. But nice and tidy through turn 1 and turn 2. And we have held on then to our grid slot here. I believe obviously we need to win this race if I wanted to temporarily take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. But I think, yeah, unless something crazy happens to Arvid Lindblad, of course, starting on the pole for tomorrow, he's going to be in a very, very good spot here as trying to get the power down out of Tosa. See, I mean, Alex Dunn, yeah, immediately looks very, very racy here. But what does Rafael Villagomez do at the front? Sometimes tyre management can be a little bit tricky in these sprint races, of course, because you don't want to make the pit stop. So, yeah, he might have to really manage that tyre set as we go through this weekend. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, what he's able to do. But, yeah, Villagomez is kind of checked out in P1. But it looks like Dunn and I have kind of checked out in 2nd and 3rd spot as well. Over a second back to Roman Stanek now, who's up to P4. So a lightning getaway for our teammate as well, who's gained a couple of places off the start. As, I mean, like, everybody pretty much seems to have safely made it through this opening lap. Just trying to get the power down out of that final corner there. Villagomez already just dropping back a couple of tenths towards our clutches. We need to be inside the DRS when it gets enabled, which I believe, yeah, is obviously the end of this lap. Luckily, Imola, of course, the detection point isn't right until the end of the lap, so we've got a little bit more time. Making our way then up in towards the chicane once again. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Just trying to see if we can close in on Rafael Villagomez there, but not getting the run up over the top of the chicane that I need. And you can just see there 1.03 out of the detection point. So, just outside the range of what we need to. And that might mean we are very vulnerable to Alexander Dunn by the time we get back in towards turn 1 there. Really attacking the curbs through that final couple of corners. And you can see there everybody setting a new fastest lap of the day. So clearly there is some speed in these cars as here comes Alex Dunn in towards turn 1 there. We will have to try and defend the inside line from, of course, well, he's a McLaren Junior inside this game. Of course, isn't a McLaren Junior any longer, so not too sure, obviously, what is going on there with Alex Dunn. Apparently he's got to move to Red Bull, or obviously the Red Bull Young Driver Academy, ready for next season. But obviously, yeah, I don't think we'll be in the V car because obviously they seem pretty dead set on Arvid Lindblad is going to have that drive. So seems like a bit of an odd sidestep for Dunn because obviously McLaren, I mean Bortoletto, of course, was a McLaren Junior during his time in F2. Obviously didn't get an F1 drive with the McLaren team, but you know they were willing to release him for an F1 drive. And it doesn't seem like Dunn's going to get that. Whether he needed the funding that Red Bull were willing to provide, I don't really know. But at the moment, though, I've got to stop talking about that and start focusing on closing in on Rafael Villagomez. Their big send up through the top of the circuit. And again, though, we are still out of the detection range. Here we go. This might be the opportunity then, as long as I don't mess up the chicane. As Alex Dunn obviously went very aggressive at the start now and does seem to be struggling just a little bit. But we are inside the range of Rafael Villagomez and quite comfortably this time. So I think this car, we might have struggled a bit more in qualifying pace, but I think we've got a very, very good race-ready setup on it that will obviously hopefully give us the speed. But not only speed, but of course tyre life as well around this track. I think I'm running a little bit more downforce though than a lot of other drivers. So let's wait and see if we can get a run on Villagomez back in towards turn 1. We are definitely gaining on him. But yeah, we're going to have to be a lot closer at the start of the straight if we want to try and be ahead of him by the end of it. It's a weird one here at Imola. It's not a particularly short front straight, but it can still be quite difficult to get a run on the car ahead. I think Rafael Villagomez maybe just went a bit too aggressive too early here. You have got to really ease these tyres in, these F2 Pirellis, otherwise you can just kind of overheat them a little bit. Kind of what we found with the F1 cars as well on this game sometimes. If you're not gentle with them on like an outlap and stuff, that they can really suffer quite quickly actually inside this game. I mean, we're not even a half distance yet at the moment. As are we going to be close enough this time round to try and get a run on Rafael Villagomez, then activate the DRS. You can see Stanek now new fastest lap of the day as both of your Invictors inside your top 3. To the outside though of Rafael Villagomez, who will try and give me a bit of a squeeze. He's still going to be there by the time we get into turn 1, but late braking. Oh, around the outside there, we get up over the exit curb. But Leo Fornaroli leads one of his home races here in Imola. This is absolutely fantastic. And now we need to try and get away quickly, though, whilst I'm trying to do that. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Wonderful. We're not going to get mecha chromed just yet, then, in this race, but that's not what I wanted.
Clear. Weather is looking good for now.
Wonderful. No rain is predicted on the horizon, then, so hopefully that's one less thing to worry about over the course of this sprint race today. But, yeah, we've now really allowed Stanek to try and get a bit closer here. Could we potentially work together to try and bag a 1-2 in this sprint race and trying to work out the best way to do it? I think, honestly, it would be try and make sure that Villagomez doesn't have the DRS on me. Trying to break the toe as best as I can out of that final corner, but Villagomez, I think, is still going to be close enough to try and get a run on me back in towards turn 1. Yes, here he comes to the outside. Oh, no, he doesn't. Of course, where the circuit arcs around a little bit, he's going to still try and get there late on the brakes, as I have to place the car defensively. Luckily, if you are the car on the inside, it's normally pretty easy to defend in towards turn 1. I think just obviously where we got the car ahead, Villagomez knows he couldn't barrel me off the circuit. And I think he'd rather have a chance to win than deny us both an opportunity. So then some better lines this time round means by the time we get out of that final corner, we've got Rafael Villagomez out of the range once more. But of course, as I get further away from him, he's got a bit more clear air to work with as well. Won't have the slipstream back in towards turn 1, but I don't think Stanek is quite going to get there with him. It's going to be pretty close, actually, by the time they get down. But of course, yeah, getting that DRS still means he's right up my trumpet once more. AI, like I said, they're definitely running less wing, because they are gaining way more down that front straight than I ever could. Starting lap 10, though, Rafael Villagomez getting a big old run on me. Back down in towards turn 1 there to the outside. We'll go the Mexican, and I'll try and make sure that I give him room on the inside there as well. You just see him bouncing over that curb towards us. Good, clean, respectful racing by the pair of us so far in this event. But I think one of the weird things is with these cars is, and especially when you get to the front, it can be so difficult to kind of drive them right on the limit without ever stepping over it.
In just over 10 minutes time, rain in 10 minutes.
Luckily that isn't going to affect anything then with just 3 laps to go of this sprint race. But yeah, it can be so difficult because if you get this car over the limit, it will just immediately go. There is no way you can kind of get it back. So you've got to be super careful with it. So it kind of just means obviously the AI won't do that. So when you're the one giving them all DRS, you kind of feel like you're getting dragged back towards them. Let's try to get another run then out of the chicane. That gap's still not where I need it. We've got yellows again then. Who is that? Please don't say it's Stanek. No, I don't think it is. Oh, we got a spinner. We got a spinner down at the rear of the field. Now, I did have a look. Safety cars are enabled inside this series, but apparently there's a glitch that they don't come out in sprints. I mean, of course, EA can't even do something as simple as that. So that will explain, obviously, why when we've had a couple of incidents before, why we haven't seen a safety car. I mean, they're still parked down there at that final corner. I'm sure I'll have a replay up on your screens at the moment as to everything that's gone on.
Just focus on the driving.
But suddenly now then, that has split off about 8 cars at the rear of the field as they have finally got going again. But yeah, apparently there's a glitch, according to a few people, that you cannot get a safety car in an F2 sprint race for whatever reason. So just see there, Villagomez thinking about it at the top of the hill. Gonna have to be a lot braver than that if you want to make the move happen. One more lap to go then here from Imola. And I think if I remember correctly, of course, last year we did this series as Andrea Kimi Antonelli, so of course also Italian. And if I remember correctly, I had some absolute stinkers at the Italian races. So if we could immediately, in our first ever one with Leo, claim the victory, I would be a very, very happy man there, trying to maximise the run off of that final corner. Rafael Villagomez knows he's only really got one more shot, one more opportunity if he wants to try and get close to us here. And as we break the toe, Villagomez might just get that chance, gaining on the run in towards turn 1. I'm going to cover off the inside line there, just to make sure that he can't do anything about it. And we will hang on through probably the most critical corner of the entire lap. That doesn't mean we're home and dry just yet, though, because the AI love to get a big run through the exit of Tosa and things like that as well there. We've just got to do what Leo Fornaroli does so well and just stay composed, stay out of trouble, don't overstep the mark, don't push the car beyond its limits, and just make sure that we get the points that are available to us, of course. Didn't win a single race in Formula 3, so I guess effectively now this will be his first win in over a year of racing. Obviously he's won a championship in that time, but that's by the by. Up the climb though, one final time here in this F2 sprint race. We've had quite a few podiums actually so far this season. I said consistency is going to be absolutely key over the course of the campaign. And as we make our way down in towards the final couple of corners, this place is so special in Italian motorsport, often in Monza's shadow. But through the final corner, Leo Fornaroli is going to win the Emilia-Romagna sprint race. Our first win of the year. Get in there.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
What a performance this has been from Leonardo Fornaroli, who takes the checkered flag to win.
Well, whether you love or hate sprints in Formula 1, they definitely deliver. In Formula 2, lovely stuff. Great racing.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic race. Here they come, your top 3.
Well, there we are then. Leo Fornaroli atop of the F2 world. I know it's only a sprint, but I am very, very happy with that one. 3/10 clear of Rafael Villagomez as our teammate Roman Stanek joins us on the podium. Alex Dunn in 4th, less than a second off of the victory there. We really did back up the pack right towards the end of the race. Luke Browning just ahead of John Bennett with Ollie Gerfer, and Lindblad does pick up a point when all is said and done. He will have his eyes, though, firmly set on tomorrow's feature. What does that do, though, to the championship standings? Well, it means for the first time, I believe, we are at the top of the table. 1 point ahead of Victor Martin. Still your top 4 covered by just 6. But yeah, obviously, if Lindblad wins tomorrow, irrespective of what I do, he will be back up at the top of the championship, unless fastest laps come into it, if I remember correctly as well there. Stanek, some good points for him, bumps his way up into P14 overall, and it is still just Montoya, Esterson, Shields, Megatuniv and Boganovic that are yet to score a point. Constructors-wise as well, Invicta jump all the way up to P3, now just 1 point behind Campos as well, as ART still have got a healthy lead at the top of the table. Just Trident yet to score. They're basically, for some reason, F2's version of VCarb inside this game. That being said, Sammy Megatuniv and Max Esterson didn't really set the world alight IRL either, did they? Thank you all so much for watching, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back ready tomorrow for the feature.